Now, after US getting a deal with Ukraine and Congo, now is looking forward to Sahel state. Watch
In the
this.
form of nothing. So I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up. And I'm going to try and get the war settled. And I'm going to try and get all that death ended. So we're asking for rare earth and oil, anything we can get. But we feel so stupid. Here's Europe. And you know, it affects Europe. It doesn't really affect us, except we don't like to see two things. Number one, how Biden got us into this thing in the first place. Terrible. But why is it that he didn't ask for equalization? Europe should put up more money than us. But even if you said the same thing, how come we went so far out front? And he didn't know that Europe gets his money back. They did it in the form of a loan. We don't get our money back. We get nothing. So we're getting our money back. We're going to get our money back because it's not fair. It's just not fair. Europe gave it in the form of a loan. They get their money back. We gave it in the form of nothing. So I want to be here. They never thought they'd be coming to, look, this is a very tough part of the world. They never thought, they were just telling me, they never thought they'd ever be coming to the White House, and they're so honored. And so we're going to give them a great big reception.
Countries are working on a minerals agreement that will boost U.S. investment in the DRC's mining sector, and our DRC partners have pledged to facilitate an efficient, transparent, and effective business environment to strengthen our cooperation in this sector and attract U.S. investment that creates jobs and prosperity. We expect that this partnership will involve not only our governments, but a range of private sector partners. We are in the process of determining next steps and will have more to announce in the near future. And as we've said, when it comes to financial investment.
Democratic Republic of the Congo President Felix Tshisekedi's administration has proposed an exclusive deal to the United States through a proxy named Africa-USA Business Council. The DRC is offering access to its critical minerals and infrastructure projects in exchange for security assistance against the Rwandan invasion that uses the M23 militia as a proxy. In addition to high-ranking government officials and state-owned miner Geka Mine flying to the US, the Africa-USA Business Council also sent a letter to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, requesting an urgent meeting between Tshisekedi and U.S. President Donald Trump to discuss a deal that will grant U.S. companies access to essential resources like cobalt, copper, lithium, tantalum, and uranium. The proposal, in the vein of what the U.S. demanded of Ukraine, includes granting U.S. companies exclusive extraction and export rights, operational control, involvement in infrastructure projects like a deepwater port, and a joint minerals stockpile. In return, the Africa-USA Business Council asked the U.S. to replace UN peacekeepers for military training, equipment, and direct security support, including offering the U.S. access to Congolese military bases. The letter sweetened the deal by mentioning it wanted to move away from Chinese influence. The U.S. allegedly is interested in talks. Efforts have not been restricted to Washington, as Jack Tshisekedi, the president's brother, also traveled to the United Arab Emirates to organize the urgent delivery of military equipment. Here, the DRC is exploring potential deals involving mining concessions such as the Musunoi East Copper and Cobalt site. The proposals have come under heat back home. Civil society in Katanga province, including worker unions, have opposed the move, citing a lack of consultation with the people and rampant corruption, which has alienated the people from their resources. It remains doubtful whether overtures to the US or UAE will yield the results Tshisekedi seeks. Both have strong relations with Rwanda. For example, the UAE is the #1 destination for gold looted from the DRC. On the other hand, US corporations like Apple and Intel benefit from Rwanda smuggling key minerals like coltan and cobalt. Former child laborers' case against 5 US corporations failed in 2024. The US recently sanctioned a Rwandan official and an M23 militia spokesperson after more than 2 years of the M23 and other groups pushing more than 7 million Congolese off their lands. However, the US has largely refrained from pursuing high-ranking perpetrators in Rwanda. How much of that will change with the DRC-US deal guaranteeing direct access to DRC's resources?
Now, after US luring Ukraine and Congo into a deal. Now he's looking forward to Sahel state. US has sent envoy back to Sahel state, that is Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, to discuss with them or to pursue them to have a deal that US is offering peace to them to exchange of rare mineral. US is saying that it will offer them the intelligence and it will help them to fight the terrorists, and for them they will offer US the mineral. Now, US under the UN soldiers have been in those countries for quite a long time, like 10 years and above. Recently, US were in Burkina Faso under the UN peacekeeping. They were in Mali under the UN peacekeeping. They were also in Niger with France, Germany, and all the NATO members. But for those all years, they did not be able to fight terrorism in that area. Now, what is so unique now that US will do to fight terrorism in those countries that they couldn't do in those early time? This show you that it's just another door for US to access those country mineral, because US is seeing China and Russia are coming close to those countries, and truly China, Russia are coming with better deals which bear fruit. But unlike US and those under the UN, they were there, but no benefit for those countries. Now that the US have made a deal, they have lured Ukraine. Now they have signed a deal. Ukraine is going to offer US mineral for assistance to fight Russia or to get a deal with Russia. Also, US has signed a deal with Congo. US has get a deal of access to rare mineral in Congo under the deal that Rwanda and M23 label signed to cease fire. Now, US is fully and open to control those mineral under this deal. Now, US is looking forward to see if we will get the same deal with Sahel state, that is Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, that those countries should give US access to rare mineral, then US offer protection. What do you think? Is this just a proxy, or do you see any deal there? Let me hear from your comment. What's your thought? It's me, Kevin. See you then.